Hi, this is Tony with StuffSeniorsNeed.com, and I'm coming to you today with a video regarding the importance of us as caregivers including our parents in conversations regarding their own care. It's a natural tendency as our parents age and they start to become more dependent upon either us or the social safety net, for us to start to view them as children and not as our parents. And we start to make more and more decisions on their behalf. And in a lot of instances, this leads to severe social esteem issues, self-esteem issues, I should say, simply because they're losing their independence and they start to feel like children again. So for that reason, it's important for us as caregivers, whenever this is possible, to try and include our parents in the discussions that affect their lives. Now, of course, you have to keep in mind here that they have to be able to rationally become involved in the conversation. And here I'm thinking about if they're suffering from Alzheimer's or dementia issues, they may not be able to participate in the conversation. So everything that I'm saying here really has to take into account your own unique situation. But here are a few of the reasons why you really need to include them. First of all, you give your parents back at least some of a sense of empowerment. I know that by including your parents in these discussions, you're enabling them to have some sense of say about what's going on in their lives. They're not completely dependent and they're not completely helpless. So that's very important. And I see that in some instances with my mother. I remember this past October, they were having a clothing outfitter come in, and she had the opportunity to buy clothes out of her business account at the nursing home. But I had to sign a parental permission slip, in essence, that she was allowed to buy the clothing. And I thought it was a little weird, and I could see the look on her face, and I just signed it and moved on. But really, from the nursing home standpoint, they wanted to make sure that it was okay for mom's money to go there. So these sorts of things, I should say, really start to gather up over time. Second reason, you're actually treating them like an adult. And think about it. No one likes to be told what to do. And when you do that, when you're including them in this, or should I say, when you're not including them in discussions about their care, you're treating them like a kid. You're treating them like one of your kids, and nobody really wants that. So the problem is that they used to tell you what to do, and now they are extremely resentful of the fact that the situation is reversed. So by including them in these discussions, you're involving them in their care, in their future, and you're treating them like an adult. They're part of the solution. Okay, everyone likes to help out and no one wants to just be told what to do. So this is part of the self-esteem and the empowerment issue. But the real reason you want to do this is that ultimately they don't resent the final decision. And I deal with this a lot. In the nursing home, there are times I'm speaking with the psychologist about how to get things across to my mother. And there are many instances when I just want to say to the psychologist, well, why can't we just tell her? Meaning, just be direct about it. And she's telling me, no, you have to go about it in a certain way and, in essence, almost be like a salesman, leading my mother to the conclusion that really is better for her, even though she doesn't realize it yet. So it can be a very difficult situation. Caregiving is extremely stressful. We don't have enough time, especially with our own families and our jobs, or perhaps our second jobs, sometimes to deal with these issues. But the point is that they do need to be dealt with, and they do need to be dealt with the right way. And the biggest thing here, they still see themselves as somewhat of an authority figure, at least over their own lives. And this comes down to what I like to call the "I changed your diaper" philosophy. Anyone who ever changed your diaper doesn't feel like they have to listen to you about anything. There are different variations of this. After all I have done for you in your life, you want me to, and then fill in the blank. But this is what you're going to have to deal with. So I hope that this helped bring about a few ideas and to bring about a couple of little tips that might help you when you're talking to your parents about some of these issues that are going on, so that really you can care for them better while at the same time caring for yourself and caring for your family. So this is Tony with Stuff Seniors Need, and I'll see you next time. Take care.